after Duquesne held a commanding lead. Good afternoon. I'm Betsy Bodwin.
And I'm Madeline Grohlman. This is the voice of Duquesne Live. Now in sports. The Duquesne women's tennis team opened up A10 play with a 4-3 loss against Dayton, falling 3-4 overall. Duquesne swept all 3 matches for doubles, with efforts from sophomore Naomi Lalonde, junior Mila Baddix, senior Jazza Roca, and sophomore Denise Arez-Giller, as well as a pair of seniors Tassa Yukina and Alexander O'Brien. The Dukes found struggles in the single matches, going 2-4 with Mila Baddix and Naomi Lalonde pulling the weight for the wins. The next day, the team couldn't find luck at WVU on Saturday afternoon, dropping a 0-7 decision, dropping Duquesne's record to 3-5. The Dukes had shown prominent promise in doubles with a battle, but ultimately fell short. Similarly, in the single matches, the Dukes continued to fall short in each match. Duquesne returns to host Niagara on Friday for Senior Day for a non-conference matchup.
On Wednesday night, Terrence Ginyard's basket, with 0.3 seconds remaining, would secure Duquesne men's basketball's 5th consecutive victory. They would take down A10 rival LaSalle by a final score of 62-61. The Dukes are now 16-10 overall and 8-5 in the conference. At the 16:57 mark in the second half, the Dukes would hold a 43-30 lead and would still hold an 8-point lead with 12 minutes remaining. The Explorers would proceed to go on a 13-2 run, grabbing a 50-47 lead, a major plot twist after Duquesne had held a commanding lead. LaSalle would extend their lead to 6 and would hold that lead until there were 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, and then the Dukes came storming back, tying the game 60-60 with 34 seconds left. LaSalle would draw a foul with 6.5 seconds remaining and would miss the second of two free throws, allowing David Dixon to grab the rebound and pass the ball to Ginyard for the decisive score. Head coach Drew Joyce's decision not to use his timeout turned out to be a great one. "I had a timeout in my pocket," head coach Drew Joyce III said. "I understood if we had enough time to get the ball across the half-court line, if I wanted to use it or not, but as I saw the play unfold and them not really find their way into transition, I'm glad I didn't just jump out there and call a timeout." Dixon would be a standout in the box score, finishing with a double-double, 13 points and 10 rebounds, before assisting the sealing basket. "I just want to publicly thank David Dixon," Coach Joyce said. "He's genuinely a good person. I get to see it every day. His interaction with teammates, his interaction with people around campus. The adoration that he has for this city, this university, it's rare. I think this is a really big moment as he plays through his senior year." The Dukes return to action on Saturday at Dayton. The game will tip off at 2 p.m.
The Duquesne women's basketball team fell 61-46 on Wednesday night at St. Joseph's. With the loss, the Dukes would fall to 9-17 overall and 2-13 in conference play. The Hawks would jump out to a 9-0 lead early, but the Dukes would make the rest of the first half interesting, eventually trimming the deficit to 2 points late in the second quarter. St. Joe's would finish the first half on a 6-0 run and would never look back. The Dukes have a 3-minute scoreless stretch in the third quarter, contributing to a decisive quarter for the Hawks, who would carry a 46-33 lead into the final frame. Nothing would change in the fourth quarter. With the win, the Hawks have now beaten the Dukes in 8 of their last 9 meetings. The Hawks would outscore Dukes by 6 in the paint and would have a 42-33 advantage in the rebounding battle. However, Duquesne would lead in bench and second chance score points. The Dukes will return to action on Saturday at 2 p.m., where they host A10 rival VCU at the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse.
This past weekend, the women's bowling team took home its first tournament title of the season at the Steel City Bowl and Brews in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, claiming the NEC No. 2 championship from a 10-2 record. The Dukes were off to a hot start in the first day of the tournament, finishing the day 4-0. They opened with a 916-764 win over LIU, then won against Wagner 959-564. The Dukes took down Niagara in their third match of the day, winning 1,116-1,003, and ended the day with a close win over FDU, 1,000-993. The first game on Saturday ended the Dukes' streak after falling to number 18 Monmouth, 998-958, and rebounded with a 1,035-919 win over Mercyhurst to end traditional play. The second half of Saturday opened Baker play with another win against FDU, 916-764, but shortly after lost to Niagara, 968-951. The Dukes closed Saturday with a rebounding 940-883 win over LIU. Sunday came with a 3-0 record for the Dukes, winning 912-848 over Mercyhurst, a 1,052-961 victory over Monmouth, and a 946-599 win over Wagner. Duquesne will finish out their 2025-26 regular season, traveling to the Stallings Invitational at North Carolina A&T on February 27th.
Last night, Duquesne's swim and dive team started competition at the A10 Championships, taking gold on opening day. The Dukes are currently in second place after the opening day of competition with 68 points, trailing just behind Richmond. The 800-yard relay freestyle team captured the Dukes' first medal of the competition with the quartet of Sierra Snow, Lexi Sudgren, Caitlin Connors, and Ashley Friel, posting a winning time of 7:16. Competition opened to a good start with the 200 medley relay, with the Dukes placing 5th but also setting a new school record. Snow, Sydney Seredby, Lexi Sudgren, Caitlin Connors, and Ashley Friel worked to reach the time of 1:40. Duquesne will compete this afternoon and this evening for the second day of competition.
On Friday, the women's track and field team competed in their final meet before A10 Indoor Championships at the YSU Last Chance Invitational, bringing home 2 event titles. Freshman Sylvia Kashak ran the 800-meter in 2 minutes and 11 seconds, moving her to 5th on Duquesne's all-time leaderboard and securing the win, marking her 3rd meet title of the season. Sophomore Lauren Stroka won the triple jump event with an 11.28-meter jump, claiming her 2nd triple jump victory of the season. Freshman Devlin Faber placed 3rd in the same event. Rose Kucheris shaved 1/100th of a second off her previous best in the 60-meter hurdles, bringing her to 2nd place in the event, while also improving to number 3 overall time in program history. It was a successful weekend for the Dukes, having 19 other top 10 finishes. Duquesne will travel to Virginia Beach on February 27th and 28th for the A10 Indoor Championships.
The Duquesne's women's lacrosse team suffered a heartbreaker on Wednesday at Robert Morris, losing the game 13-12 with 0.6 seconds remaining. The Dukes are still winless, dropping to a 0-3 with the loss. From the 9:49 mark in the second quarter to 8:13 in the fourth, the Dukes would go on an 8-0 run after previously trailing 10-4. The Colonials would score the final 3 goals of the contest, including a drawing of a critical foul that would set up the opportunity for the game-winning goal. The Dukes also had many individual bright spots in this one, with sophomore Megan Macro scoring 4 goals, 3 assists from Gracie Emerson, and 2 goal games from Addison Scanlon, Emma Rains, and Chloe Holmes. The Dukes will remain on the road for the 4th straight game against Merciers next Wednesday.
The Duquesne acrobatics and tumbling team kicked off their second season last Thursday, and our Brendan Flato was at the meet to learn more.
I think it's pretty amazing that so many people come to kind of rally behind this new sport, like Rhea was saying, and it just feels like so much love is in the air, everyone's excited, and that makes you just, there's a whole shift in energy, kind of like you talked about on meet day versus just a regular practice day, and it's just really fun.
Last Thursday, the number 7 acrobatics and tumbling team in the country, Duquesne, opened the season with a meet against West Liberty. A great crowd was on hand, and the Dukes made sure to put on a show. During the halftime warm-ups, one of Duquesne's top athletes, Leah Philram, went down with an injury. This led the team to have to rally both on the mat and mentally.
Having a teammate go down, you never, ever like to see that, for any team in the whole entire nation. Like, that's just the worst case scenario. But having someone go down, we all came together and we really did it for her. And it's one of those things that you practice, but you don't ever hope that it happens or think it's going to happen. But I think tonight it really unified us. And before we went out there, the one thing we said was do it for her. We do it for each other every single day, but we also said do it for the girl in the chair right now in the boot.
They were handling it more of like, okay, I can step in, coach. I can do this, coach. They were all ready to step in and say, I can do this. And not everybody needed to step in all at once. We were still problem solving and figuring it out. But just to see the growth in the mindset, and we talked about that. I talked about that a little bit in the press conference yesterday. And definitely a change in mindset, that championship mindset, that we were not going to give up the fight at the end of the meet tonight. We easily could have.
One of the coolest parts of an acrobatics and tumbling meet is the team event. During this event, the teams will perform every event from the meet while music plays. Following the meet, Mariah Mamie and Anna Trent spoke about this event and the team's new music for this season.
I think that our music this year kind of really brings a spark that we didn't have last year. Last year we were like, yes, this is so fun. This year's kind of like, we're going to do this. So I think that it's kind of like when she says it's on and it starts with a hard-hitting music, it's like, all right, game time. And I have a little ritual where I pray before there's a beat in the music, and once I open my eyes, it's go time, and it's go time for everyone around me. So just looking at someone and saying, you got this, you got this, you got this, it's hard-hitting, and I think that really helps us be more powerful.
Kind of going off that, just last year, we were all new to the sport with a team full of basically all freshmen. And so, not that we were timid, but we were very much like, we're having fun, we're so happy to be here, like, let's put up our dukes, let's get down to it, you know what I mean? And this year it's more like, we are a little bit more seasoned, we have purpose, we have a drive, we have a huge goal. We have huge, huge goals. Last year we did too, but this year we're like, we've already seen what we can do, let's go up our game.
Following the meet, athletes also commented on how much the crowd and the support they receive means to them and their teammates.
I think it means that means the most to me, especially because this is such a new sport and it just reached NCAA status, so it's huge. I really want people to know what we do because I think it is so amazing the way we come together as a team. A lot of us come from gymnastics backgrounds or cheer backgrounds where you are focused on yourself individually, and I think that being a team sport is something that I really want to share with the world. So I think that other students and other athletes being able to see what we do is really important just because it's not as well known. Yeah.
That will do it for the first acrobatics and tumbling meet of the season. Duquesne takes down West Liberty to claim their first win of the season. It was a great atmosphere here in the Cooper Fieldhouse. The stands behind the camera there were full all night. There was a lot of support from students, parents, and fans alike. It was a great night at the Cooper Fieldhouse, so make sure you come out to the next acrobatics and tumbling meet. This was my first time in an acrobatics and tumbling meet. I really enjoyed it. I recommend everybody come out to one of these meets because they're really exciting. For Voice of Duquesne Live, I'm Brendan Flato.
Thanks, Brendan. Now let's head over to Kylie Crocus with this week's weather.
Thanks, guys. Let's look into the weather. So starting off tomorrow, it's going to be an 85% chance of rain with a high of 62 and a low of 39. We're finally seeing much higher temperatures. It's going to be great. Moving into the weekend on Saturday, it's going to be cloudy skies with a high of 43 and a low of 32. On Sunday, more cloudy skies with a high of 36 and a low of 30. So temperatures are starting to drop again. Moving into Monday next week, we're going to have cloudy skies again with a high of 32 and a low of 24. Tuesday next week, it's going to be partly cloudy skies, so not fully cloudy, with a high of 33 and a low of 20. Moving into Wednesday, cloudy skies again with a high of 45 and a low of 27. And ending off the week over on Thursday, getting ready for spring break, we're going to have a 45% chance of rain with a high of 44 and a low of 34. Moving over to our friends in Rome, Italy. They're having a lot better than us over there, but what's new? For tomorrow, 85% chance of rain for them too, with a high of 58 and a low of 46. Moving into their weekend, they're going to have sunny skies with a high of 60 and a low of 40. Continuing their sunny skies into Sunday with a high of 62 and a low of 39. Over Monday in Rome, they're going to have cloudy skies with a high of 61 and a low of 49. On Tuesday, sunny skies again with a high of 62 and a low of 48. Moving into Wednesday, sunny skies again. I'm really getting jealous over here with a high of 63 and a low of 45. Ending off their week over in Rome, they're going to have a 60% chance of rain with a high of 60 and a low of 44. Moving over to Dublin, Ireland. Guess what's new? Nothing's new. Rain! We're going to have on Friday, tomorrow, a 90% chance of rain with a high of 53 and a low of 43. Moving into the weekend, they're going to have 75% chance of rain with a high of 56 and a low of 49. Moving into Sunday, 65% chance of rain with a high of 52 and a low of 47. Moving into Monday to start their school week over in Dublin, 55% chance of rain with a high of 52 and a low of 45. Moving into Tuesday, 75% chance of rain with a high of 55 and a low of 48. Moving into Wednesday, no rain, but it's going to be windy. So hold on to your umbrellas. You don't need them, but they might blow away with a high of 51 and a low of 42. Ending off their week over in Dublin, 80% chance of rain with a high of 49 and a low of 42. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Kylie. On Tuesday, February 17th, the National Association for Music Education Collegiate Chapter held a down AWOC. Tuesday was Mardi Gras, or Fat Tuesday, the day before Ash Wednesday and the beginning of Lent. So on Mardi Gras, people have large celebrations and eat tons of junk food before Lent begins, and it's time to give those things up. To celebrate the day before Lent, there was a parade down AWOC with fun costumes and exciting music. The brains behind this event, Caspenbera, said, "When I was in high school, we had Mardi Gras parade every year. We would march all throughout the school, playing some standard jazz tunes. I thought this would be a very fun event to bring to Duquesne and a great opportunity to my fellow music students to play and be inspired." They played some classic songs like When the Saints Go Marching In and Lil Liza Jane. Groups of people noticed what was going on and took a seat for the show. President of the National Association for Music Education, Abigail Jareski, said, "The purpose of this event was to shed light on a different culture that students at Duquesne may not be familiar with. We want to bring live music onto campus to brighten spirits and celebrate Mardi Gras all together." In doing this, they spent an hour straight learning the music by ear rather than off paper so that they can memorize it better and bring excitement to AWOC. So, if you like music and fun events, stay on the lookout for whatever the National Association for Music Education has in store for us next.
Now, let's head to our pop culture to keep you in the know.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
And I'm Halen, and this is week 3 of Pop Culture Recap.
3. This week, we got some great releases this week.
Yes,
on
that's
Tuesday.
true.
Yeah.
First one that we're going to talk about is the new Lana Del Rey single called White Feather Hawktail Deer Hunter, which is a mouthful, as we can tell. There's been a lot of discourse about this single, not even just about the song itself, but about when it was going to be released. If you're not a fan of Lana Del Rey, then you wouldn't know this, but if you are, you know that she has been supposedly releasing an album for the past, 2 years,
Like 2
and
years?
she's changed the name of it 2 or 3 times, give or take. So a lot of people weren't hopeful that she would actually release the single. I know I wasn't. I told Kylie, I'll believe it when I see it. She did release it, and it was called, once again, White Feather Hawktail Deer Hunter. And it's kind of,
It's conceptual.
yeah, it really is. And I figured I would see a lot of mixed reviews on it, considering that a lot of people before it came out, when they heard like clips of it on Lana's Instagram, people were thinking like, oh, this is gonna be a very like
Whimsical. If that's like, it kind of gave me the vibe of like Alice in Wonderland almost.
yeah, I
like,
agree. The way that I interpreted it
Yeah.
was very like Southern Gothic,
Yeah,
which
definitely.
is kind of like straight away from like what she normally writes like and sounds like with her music and the instrumentals and stuff, but I'm really not complaining about it, and I don't think a lot of other people are. It sounds really good. A lot of people felt like it was gonna be iffy because of how experimental it sounded.
Yeah, but when you really look at it, you look at the lyrics, it was more of, less of just a whimsy piece that she threw together. There was definitely lots of thought that went into it.
Lots of symbolism behind it and meaning.
A lot of it being her relationship
Yes.
that she's in.
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy surrounding her relationship just because of the like how she's settled down now and she's married, and I don't think a lot of people were expecting that because of how much she writes about the bad parts of her past relationships.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of people who haven't really fully accepted the fact that she's settled down now in a steady relationship and married. And I feel like a lot of people have been kind of comparing her to like a housewife
Yeah.
type or something like that. And so the song is pretty much for and about her husband, but it's sort of like mocking the way that people are interpreting her as like a housewife where, oh, I just like to, let me just cook for you and this and this and that. But it's more of like a mocking version of that. And it's sort of like she's telling them, listen, I know what I want with my life and I'm happy where I am. And just because you don't like that doesn't mean that I shouldn't. Which I think is like a very important thing, because I think a lot of the times there's people who will judge women who do enjoy that aspect of life where they're like they're like a stay-at-home mom or something like that. So.
Yeah. Another song we got on Tuesday, same day, we got 2 songs one day, it's called She Knows Too Much by Thundercat featuring Mac Miller, which is confusing to a lot of people because Mac Miller is sadly passed away in 2018. This is a posthumous release, which means death. But a lot of Mac Miller's albums and a lot of his music was released after his passing. A lot of fans think that his estate handles it really well. They don't just throw his archived stuff all over the place. They sort of put things together in a way that they believe he would have released if he were still here. It's the estate and his family. They work together and they work on these posthumous releases. But this one was with Thundercat. They were good friends. So this was obviously recorded years ago. And then Thundercat finished it and released it as a single leading up to his new album. I can't remember the name of it. A lot of people were really excited about it because, it's not every day you're gonna get a Mac Miller release since he's not here anymore. So a lot of fans were really excited about it, excited to hear it, and they're good friends, so it was a very fun and upbeat song too. The message of it was like about modern dating. They talked about the flaws in modern dating where people are so focused on status and wealth instead of knowing who you really are. They say, like in the song, if you don't know me, you don't know enough. You gotta know the person to really be with them. When you listen to it, it's got a very like fun, upbeat rhythm to it.
Yeah, I thought it sounded kind of like...
Started dancing a little bit.
Yeah,
It was like a lot of
pretty
fun.
good.
Yeah, it was bittersweet because like it's playful in the sense that it's like joking about modern dating, but then it's about modern dating being not the greatest thing. But
Yeah.
I thought it was a very fun, exciting little surprise for me. I personally really like Mac Miller, so I was really excited about it. And we got the Lana Del Rey single. Her album is coming out.
I'll believe it when I see it.
So
I don't like to put too much faith into her. Love her, but
lots of new music coming out, but
We are really being fed.
Really being fed
Really
musically.
being fed.
Fed musically. Anyways, I think that's all we
Yeah.
have. So, see you guys next week.
Yep.
Back to you guys in the studio.
On Sunday, the Duquesne Wind Ensemble performed at the Power Center Ballroom. The event saw performances from the Symphony Band and the Wind Symphony. The performance had a Latin theme, featuring many Latin American composers such as Oscar Lorenzo Fernandez and Sylvester Revoltes. The event also featured performances on the steel pan by performers Liam Tagg and Jaden Tagg Nuns, who were described by the conductor, James Gorley, as two of the best steel pan players in the world. The multicultural performance formed a big crowd and was loved by the people in attendance. Clarinet player Lauren Nowak said she really enjoyed playing in the show and that her favorite song of the program was The Cantina Band, a piece by composer Omar Thomas.
The Caribbean Student Association held a relaxing night full of good vibes last week in the form of paint and wine. Our Madeline Grohlman took us around for the night.
Hi guys, it's Madeline from the Voice of Duquesne Live. I'm here with my roommate Ryan. Ryan, say hi. We're gonna go to Paint and Wine, so come with us. So we arrived to the event Paint and Wine by the Caribbean Student Association. They had so much good food and they had the easels out. I knew it was gonna be a good night right off the bat. Ryan's putting food on. They had a little drink bar there. It was the cutest thing ever. You can make your own mocktail. Here's me making mine. Okay guys, I'm gonna make a mocktail now. Ryan gave me full control, so I'm gonna make it crazy. Let's start with some Sprite. Starry actually. Oh, I gotta open another can. And I'm thinking like almost Shirley Temple. I can't really open this. Oops. Oopsies. Pour a little bit of this. Little bit of this. And then I'm thinking we go in with this cranberry. Pour a little dash. Pour a little dash. I'm gonna go in with some grenadine. Look at all these options we have here. Are you guys seeing this? This is amazing. And then I'm just gonna pour a little dash of, okay, maybe that's a lot. Little, maybe that's a lot. And yeah, I'm just gonna finish. Pineapple juice? Yeah. Okay. Some pineapple juice. Let's go crazy. Okay. And I'm gonna call this the Duquesne Live Blast. Sorry. Okay, so we're all set up. We're gonna start painting the first one. We have our chicken. We have everything. It's gonna be great. That's our inspo, okay? And this is the fresh canvas. We're gonna see. Okay, chicken. We tried some. It's pretty good, pretty good. Would you thumbs it up, Ryan? Yeah, thumbs it up. And then this like pizza thing, crust is very good, very good. So here's our paintings as we were working on them, and then we got the opportunity to talk to the president.
Hi, my name is Donna Allen, and I am the president of Caribbean Student Association.
We asked her what inspired tonight's food, and she said,
So we chose the food from various Caribbean islands. We have the empanada, which is Spanish beef patty. We have jerk chicken, which is from Jamaica, and we have plantain, which is from all the Caribbean islands. And we chose the music from various Caribbean islands too. Yeah.
This is my painting. Started with the sunset in the back, then the sun, and then added 4 palm trees of different heights.
Here is my painting. I got the palm trees like Ryan. I added a few birds. If you look closely, you can maybe see a third bird. No, you don't. Nope. No, you don't. I got a little bit of paint on the mic. Dawn, don't kill me. I will clean it off. Yeah, I think it's coming together pretty good. Here were some of the other people there. I think everyone's painting turned out amazing. As you can see in there, everyone was super artistic. It was great. We just got back from Paint and Wine. That's our final product. We had such a good time. Check out campus links for more events. Signing out.
Thanks, Maddie. On Monday night, students gathered for a monthly event at the chapel, Alive, Eucharistic Adoration and Praise and Worship. On this occasion, students kneel in the pews of the chapel, singing along to worship songs, lighting candles, and students have the option to go to confession. Every month, someone new gives their testimony, explaining how they found deeper faith. Duquesne freshman Mary Maloney gave a moving testimony, discussing 2 serious injuries that she sustained throughout her teenage years. I felt like I had lost everything that made me me. She got a great reception from everyone in attendance and shared how being at Duquesne has been such a blessing. The next Alive will be held on March 16th at 9 p.m. in the chapel, one of the final opportunities to attend the event this year.
On Saturday, February 14th, Sigma Nu hosted the 19th annual White Rose Ball, honoring America's Gold Star mothers. Sigma Nu, along with every other Duquesne sorority, raised money for the Gold Star Mothers organization. The Voice of Duquesne Live was there to capture the event and the crowning of the White Rose Ball Queen.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming to the 19th annual White Rose Ball. Thank you to our nominees, past and present, for all of the hard work you have done to help our event. Thank you to the Brothers of Sigma Nu for being loyal friends. And most importantly, thank you to the American Gold Star mothers, especially Annette and Joyce, who are here tonight for your selflessness, your love, your devotion to this noble cause of keeping your children's memory alive through service to our military and veteran communities. I'm happy to invite the National President of the American Gold Star Mothers onto stage, Annette Kirk.
It's my honor to be here tonight with the Brothers of Sigma Nu, along with their families and friends. Once again this year. Last year it was so fun. We had our entire board, and this year we just we couldn't do it. So Joyce and I, it's such a pleasure to be here. I'd like to start by addressing the families of these young men. I want you to know that you have done an excellent job raising them with love, respect, and kindness, teaching them these core values, building confidence and character. Tonight, Joyce and I thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And when I first learned that my son Paul had been killed in Afghanistan, my heart broke and my faith was tested. When I was installed as president of American Gold Star Mothers, there was one thing that I told the members. Our pain gives us purpose, a purpose to serve, a purpose that drives us to continue our children's service in a way that helps us heal. And I see Sigma Nu having that same type of purpose, one that benefits all.
I'm RJ Kirkwood, and I am the head chairman of the White Rose Ball, as well as a senior environmental science student, as well as a prospective civil engineering student at Pitt University. And you know, this event here, it really means a lot to us. This is the 19th annual White Rose Ball, and the Gold Star Mothers here, which is the organization that we support every year, they are a fantastic, fantastic organization. You know, their cause is to help military and veteran communities. Now, the reason behind this cause for them is that they are women who have unfortunately lost a child in active duty military service. And basically, they just want to try to give back to those who serve us, and you know, it's really a very lovely, beautiful thing, and we're so appreciative and happy to have them here. We're so appreciative and happy that they do what they do, and you know, we're so happy to be able to have an amazing event like this.
Humbly, I'm here because I'm an American Gold Star mother. I lost a child while he was serving in our military. And Duquesne University has been, year after year, this fraternity has been giving to our organization. And so being here to accept and acknowledge the spirit that, you know, these guys and gals have been putting together for us really is why I'm here tonight. I want to show that we appreciate it, we love it, we'll use those funds for many things in our missions, from time served for veterans, miles that we have to drive to places, even donations that we get to help, you know, wherever we can. Their dollars matter to us, and it's important that we recognize that.
Father Swickey started it because his mother was a Gold Star mother, and we needed to have a fundraising thing for Sigma Nu. That's how we started this. 18 years, I've been involved 18 years in this program, and it's good to see the young men develop from when they're young to when they graduate. It's a good event to be involved in. People don't realize this. We're the only university, only fraternity that raises money for them, and we are their second largest fundraising group, next to a private donor. So they rely on the donations that we give to help other veterans and American Gold Star mothers.
And I'd also like to thank our White Rose Queen nominees. So basically every year we get the sororities on campus to get involved with our event, and they are in essentially a race with different categories. So, you know, getting monetary donations, helping us with our basket raffle. They help us through merchandise tabling, all sorts of different things. And at the end of the campaign, we always end up doing a final vote, and whoever the nominee is that has put in the most effort over this year, they end up winning the White Rose Queen, which is really just a prestigious honor for such a time-honored event here at Duquesne.
I'm a sophomore at Duquesne, and I'm majoring in nursing, and I'm also in the ROTC program here. Oh my gosh, it means the world to me. It's near and dear to my heart to support such an amazing cause as this, and I'm really happy to have been able to experience it with everyone. So I basically, for the past month, I've been fundraising and honestly doing a bunch of things to help support the mothers, and tonight I was in attendance and I met some of the mothers, and I was crowned queen because I raised the most money. I'm gonna go active in the Army for 8 years, so I plan to travel and just get stationed wherever as a nurse, and then from there on I'll see if I like it and keep going active, or I can go in the reserves or just see where I go from there.
Hello everyone, my name is Adrian, and last year I was nominated as a representative for Gamma Phi Beta in the White Rose pageant, and I have had the honor of being this past year's queen. I'd like to start by thanking the Brothers of Sigma Nu for giving me the opportunity to have this experience and support such an amazing cause. Most importantly, I would like to recognize the women who are the reason for this event. Thank you for taking the time to be here tonight and for allowing us to honor the sacrifices made by you and those you have lost.
I guess what comes to mind is that freedom isn't free. I mean, we've heard that slogan many times, but until you've lost that child that has given their service and given their life for that service, I think that's really where the importance comes in. These kids can go about having their video games and their pizza nights and their football games because of the military that continue to serve and protect us, and that's what I don't want them to ever take for granted.
Now, from Provost Dawsey's Academic Insights. The 11th Annual Integrity of Creation Conference is scheduled for March 24th and 25th. This annual conference will explore global health on a warming planet, connecting climate change, global health, and environmental justice. Featured speakers include Dr. Ekled Onyagago of the World Health Organization Regional Office for Africa and Reverend Chika Onajiwa, Executive Director of Kibanda. The conference will also highlight student research on sustainability and climate change-related challenges. Faculty who would like their students to participate should email Dr. Jared McGill. Here are some upcoming events at the Gumberg Library. 1 year later, The Path to Recovery After the Tree of Life Attack, a viewing on February 19th from noon to 1 p.m. in the Gumberg Popular Reading Room. Next, the Introduction to EndNote webinar, February 18th, 2 to 3 p.m. Finally, Clinical Key, February 24th, noon to 1 p.m. I'm Madeline Grohlman.
I'm Betsy Bodwin. We hope to see you next Thursday.